Hi, I'm Mark Williams, and in this short video, I'm about to reveal a weird but highly effective principle that will make others perceive you as charming, charismatic, and likable. Once you apply this ridiculously powerful principle, people will bend over backwards just to impress you. They'll instantly feel drawn to you and value your presence in their lives. With little effort on your part, you're about to make more friends, become more desirable, and be loved by your partner even more. On top of that, it'll also have a dramatic impact on your success at work. And the great news is that this works incredibly well, even if you've never considered yourself a people person, or if you've always had trouble making friends and influencing others. So, why does it work so well? It's because the principle is founded on the science of likability, more specifically, the science of human interaction, and the new discoveries made by some of the world's most sought-after psychologists, anthropologists, and human brain specialists. I personally promise you that the emotional influence principle will flat out make people see you as a person of high value and charisma, and do their best to impress you. In fact, people will go out of their way to do nice things for you in the hopes of winning your approval. You finally get the respect and admiration that you deserve from the people in your life. Simply put, you'll transform into a person that others can't help but like, admire, and want to be around. And this isn't about putting on a show to impress people, and it's most definitely not about sucking up to people or kissing butt just to get there. You don't need to manipulate others to get them to do what you want. This is about making a simple shift from where you are now while still being comfortable in your own skin. It's about being honest, genuine, and true to the values that make you, you. And just to be crystal clear, this principle has nothing to do with saying please and thank you, or being courteous and smiling at people. Obviously, you should already be doing these things without even thinking about it. You know, basic manners and all that. The emotional influence principle takes Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People and other books on likability to an epic new level. This is the missing ingredient to genuine likability. It's the secret to social success that no one has told you before. A secret that, quite frankly, should be taught in schools. So what makes it so different? Well, let me explain by telling you how I stumbled upon this insanely effective principle. It's the foundation of the success I enjoy today. This principle transformed my average run-of-the-mill life and turned me into a likability expert and published author. Right now, you're only a few minutes away from the success, recognition, and adoration you deserve. A few years ago, I worked as a telephone sales rep. What made my job a daily grind was the constant rejection from people who didn't even want to talk to me. And the worst part was that my name was at the bottom of the sales board every month. I remember a colleague telling me, "Well, at least you're consistent, Mark," in front of everyone no less. My blood boiled as I tried to laugh it off. I could barely contain my frustration and disappointment. I wanted to quit. But with my hefty student loan and jobs being difficult to come by, I had no choice but to stick with it. My constant failure got me thinking. The same people got the highest sales month after month. What was I doing wrong? They were obviously onto something, and the answer eluded me for the longest time. Finally, I asked one of the most successful sales reps what she did differently. She said, "I have something for you, but don't show it to anyone." I could tell by the look on her face that she felt sorry for me. The following day, she dropped her psychology paper from university on my desk. That evening, I read it from cover to cover. What I read amazed and shocked me. I knew that this could be the solution to my problem. I was hooked. The next day, I went to the library to expand my research. Like a madman, I hunted down every book and article I could find on the art of persuasion, likability, and influence. Over the next week, I read like a machine, absorbing as much information as my brain could take. Suddenly, I connected the dots, and the answer hit me like a bolt of lightning. It was like everything suddenly made sense, and I knew exactly what to do. I bubbled with excitement and anticipation from the thought of putting my life-changing discovery into action. Soon enough, I had crafted a blueprint, which contained a set of principles that could be tailored and applied to every sales call I made. Now I knew exactly what to say and how to say it. I was amazed by how people suddenly liked me more on the phone. They hung on to my every word like my voice had a magical effect on them. I was in utter disbelief over how fast and powerful the principles worked for me. When the end of the month rolled around, I could barely keep myself from grinning ear to ear as I watched my name shoot up to 4th place on the sales board. And shortly after that, I found myself in 1st place. The whole office was in shock, including me. At that moment, I realized my newfound success had absolutely nothing to do with luck. Rather, I owed it to what I now call the emotional influence principle. Think about that for a second. What is the one thing that all successful people have in common? You'll notice that all of the great leaders in the world have a knack for influencing people and getting others to follow them. That's how all elections are won. If you want to win people over, you'd better be more influential and likable than the other person, right? And I promise you right now, these are principles that anyone can learn. Over the next few months, since I used these principles, my life completely transformed. Customers liked me more. I made more sales, which helped me make more money. And after only 4 months, I got promoted to team leader, even though I felt others deserved it more. I also noticed other dramatic changes. People were responding to me in a radically different way. My girlfriend, family, and friends thought I was all right before, but now I felt like a rock star, more appreciated and loved than ever. But I had one more question. What if these principles I had used with amazing success could also work for others as well as they had for me? My gut told me that these principles weren't a one-trick pony, but rather something universal that could deliver the same results to everyone else. This was something that most people didn't even know about. And I knew anyone had the power to easily transform their life, whatever the situation was, including you. Whether you want to have more success at work, influence people to your way of thinking, make others like and respect you more, or enjoy better relationships with your partner and loved ones, you can make it all happen. But I wanted proof that these principles really could work for anyone. So my request for personal transformation led me to a guy named Steven, whom I met through the internet. Steven was an accountant at a mid-sized firm in Chicago, and he was sick of being ignored and disrespected at work. No one listened to any of his ideas. In fact, most of what he said fell on deaf ears. And to make matters worse, he couldn't say no to unreasonable requests from his boss or colleagues. Steven knew they were taking advantage of him, but felt powerless to stop it. He just wanted people to like and respect him. One Friday afternoon, as he was about to leave for his sister's 40th birthday, his boss approached his small rectangular cubicle, as if on cue, then dropped a thick pile of accounts on his desk and said, "You can get these done by tomorrow, right, Stevie? It's super urgent." He wanted to say no and tell his boss that he had already made plans. But, like always, he caved in without resistance and complied with the last-minute request. As usual, his overbearing boss said, "Good, I can always count on you, Stevie." Feeling defeated once again, Steven sunk back in his chair and let out a heavy sigh. The next day, he was seriously bummed out about missing his sister's birthday out of his own spinelessness. It was at that same moment that Steven promised to himself that this had to stop. A few weeks later, we found each other online. I told him my story and how these powerful principles had worked so well for me. And even though our situations were different, I was positive that the very same principles could help him too. Steven said, "Let's give it a go. I have nothing to lose anyway." It turned out to be the best decision he ever made. Once he read the principles and techniques, he knew what he had to do. He told me that he now understood what he was doing wrong and committed to the simple changes he could make to turn his life around. That included my credibility principle, which transformed how people perceived him. People at Steven's workplace immediately noticed the difference. It didn't take long before he was invited out more often by his colleagues. Now, Steven became more respected and liked than he ever was before. He not only started getting his superiors to listen to his ideas, but he also brought in new clients like no one else had, and even earned himself a whopping bonus. All because of the extremely easy-to-use principles I gave him. But this was only the beginning. Everyone else who I shared these secret likability principles with experienced the same amazing results. It almost seemed like they gained magical powers to get what they wanted in life. It included promotions, raises, fresh and exciting relationships, more friends. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Even the small stuff just fell into place for them. Every aspect of their lives ran like clockwork. They had less stress, more satisfaction, and the ability to just kick back, relax, and enjoy life. No matter what the circumstances they were in, their results surpassed my highest expectations. Take Sarah, for instance. Thanks to my system, she got a guy she liked to notice her, even though she was painfully shy. Now they're dating, and Sarah is the happiest she's ever been. Even my students who are married enjoyed significant changes in their relationships. Not only are their spouses treating them better, they're also enjoying a renewed romantic connection they haven't felt since they first got together. In just a short time, word spread, and I started getting emails from people I didn't even know. They wrote me from all over the world, begging me for the opportunity to try my system. I soon realized that the only way to help all of them was to turn these likability principles into an online course. It became my obsession that kept me up at night. My mind was like a volcano, exploding with new ideas faster than I could keep up with. As I frantically typed away on my battered keyboard to write everything down, my fingers didn't just feel numb, I practically wore them down to the bone. With each adjustment I made, I refined the principles to make them even more powerful and effective than before. After months of hard work and sleepless nights, I put all these ideas into a perfectly optimized and mind-blowing system I call the Likeability Blueprint. And I know you're ready to experience the same results you've only dreamed about until now. So what exactly will you learn in my system? Well, here's a sneak peek at what you can expect. The art of winning friends. You'll have the absolute power to make anyone like you without changing who you are. I'll show you the 5 character traits that all likable people possess and how to effortlessly cultivate them within yourself. Making this simple shift, you'll earn people's loyalty, trust, and admiration. This means you'll enjoy lasting friendships and find people who will go out of their way to help you, win your approval, and spend time with you. That's because they feel comfortable around you without knowing why. This technique is the key to making people truly like you for who you are. Next, I can't wait to show you the credibility principle. This powerful principle only takes a few minutes to go through, but it'll compel others to give you the respect you deserve. You'll be able to persuade even the most intimidating or stubborn person to drop their defenses, listen to you, and respect your opinions. This can be especially handy with a tough boss, colleague, or customer. And as I've said before, none of this involves brown-nosing or sucking up to people. When you use this proven principle, you'll never comply to unreasonable requests again or be treated like a doormat because you can't say no. Rather, you'll be a person that others strive to please and impress. They'll pitch their ideas to you, hoping you'll agree and approve. And they'll be fiercely loyal whenever you need them. The credibility principle was almost single-handedly responsible for Stephen's stunning transformation. Plus, it couldn't be more simple to apply. I'll show you how to take your career to the next level using the powerful influence principle. This will give you the power to influence others to your way of thinking and achieve greater success in business. You'll easily be able to forge new relationships and strengthen existing ones. That means you'll have more money, power, and free time. Not to mention more admiration from your peers. Do you know the secret to creating and maintaining a lasting, deep, passionate infatuation in your spouse? I'm going to show you the 5 love-building triggers to ignite a renewed passion within your partner. Even if the spark has been missing for years, and even if you don't like each other right now, simply apply these attraction triggers and you'll feel your partner's burning desire for you grow as the days go by. These triggers are so subtle that your partner won't even notice what's going on, nor will they care. They'll find you irresistible once again and want to spend more time with you, just like when you first fell in love.